I'll tell you what, that was a bit slow on my screen. I only saw the last 5 seconds of that countdown. But yes, we are here. We are live. I'm back again. Did you know? What do you think? I was saying this backstage. Do you guys reckon this looks like some sort of prison jumper? Sort of. I don't know. What do you think? I look like I'm in prison. I don't. Is that a good look? Stick this on instead. Is that better? If I can get it. I think it's better. Goodness me. Well, we've got a shot for you, Doc. Bleh. Oh, I've had a right day today. I've had a right day. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I'm cold. You have to bear with me. But yeah, we've got a show for you. It's one of those things, isn't it? There's no news for ages. You get nothing. You get not even breadcrumbs, and then out of the blue, everything comes at you at once. It's common practice with Doctor Who, I find, and you know we shouldn't expect any different. And and it's happened again. It's happened again. You know, it's that time. We've got bombarded with news. I mean, what was it? We had the thing about the AI bots. We had about Disney using bots to promote this upcoming era. I mean, there's that in of itself. Oh, what was the other thing? I literally forgot it last night, and then I remembered it again. What was it? It was something big as well, and then I remembered it, and then I lost it again. It wasn't Moffat, but then there's that as well. It's Moffat. Uh, Christ, what was it? Fairly big news. Oh, I don't fucking know. I'm sure it'll come to me. And then, of course, just yesterday, uh, because we found out that, my God, that not only did we get an announcement date, but in the manner of the announcement date, and how it went down. Oh, I mean, yeah, I mean, global release time. But yeah, if you're in the UK, then tough shit, because you better either stay up until 12 o'clock, um, or like I said on Null Stream last night, you better go off if you want to watch it with your family. You better go off the grid effectively for how many hours? Nearly all day, just to catch it up on the 7 p.m. on the terrestrial TV. If you want to watch it in the traditional classic format, I mean, yeah, that's what we're dealing with, and I can't even begin to wrap my head about all this. The whole thing about having 2 episodes dropping at once, and then 1 week after that, and it's if that's if they're dropping 2 episodes straight away on the iPlayer, and then are we going to get 2 episodes later that night on normal terrestrial TV? That's 2 episodes back to back. I mean, the inner child in me would be screaming right now, saying, 2 episodes of Doctor Who in one night. Crazy, but the practicality of it, and I don't know, can I digest that? And I don't know, is that a smart move, like logistics wise, or etc. But I don't know. I can't. But I'm not on my own with this. I'm not on my own, because there's no way I can do it. Even begin to analyze all this myself. I need insight. I think we all need insight in life. You know, we're social creatures. We need help, and I certainly need help tonight. So welcome, P.D Rich.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
I'm getting better with these segues. I'm practicing. I'm just got to roll with it. It's
Yeah.
God knows what the rabbi does.
Oh,
Just rolls
Rabbi
off the
just go
tongue, you know.
on and
But I
on and
mean,
on like Harrison, mate.
yeah.
Oh, he's good at it. He's been doing it for years. He's been doing sermons and stuff for years, so he knows what to say and what time to say it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wish I
yeah.
could do that, but God. I mean, what was that other thing? It's going to drive me insane if I don't remember. It was something big recently. We had the thing about the bots. What was the other thing? It wasn't Moffat.
Oh,
Any fairly big news?
Alex Pellier. I mean, I know the guy. Well, not him personally, but I'm acquainted with him.
Perhaps. Yeah. Well, it's. I had it as well. this is the nature of the beast. This is what I mean. They just
Oh,
drop
I
everything
know.
on you
You
at
have to
once.
write it. In radio, you write it down on a sheet and then you read it out and got a nice big line for it during the songs.
Yeah, I should get. Well, yeah, I've got a laptop. I should put notes. I should write down notes and prepare
Yeah, just have your
myself.
script.
I'm an
This is
amateur.
script up. I mean, Gobby does it without notes. Don't know how he does it.
God knows. God knows. I need the memory. I'm a very visual person.
Yeah, I got bad short term as well. I have to keep writing stuff down on a piece of paper. My desk is like lying with like little bits of paper with notes on it. It's crazy.
I normally remember the stuff I actually care about, so I'm not sure what that tells me. But
Yeah.
God, where do we start? I mean, what was the
So about
first
Big
thing? I mean, I
Finish.
suppose was it Big Finish? It was something. Honestly, for the life of me, I can't remember what it was. Oh well. Well, I guess we'll just have to discuss what I can remember. So yeah, the thing about the bots.
Yeah.
Well, is this, we're seeing a lot of that now. Is this a trend with Disney that,
Yep.
flooding? I mean, the stuff that was written as well. Oh, I can't wait to be whisked away in time and space. The most
Oh
cringy,
yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
poetic tweets that could be written.
And it
And
was
they're all saying the
And
same
our
thing.
good
Of
friends at
course,
Master
who was it
TDS
that
found
found it?
out
Was
all
Master
about it.
TDS? Yep.
Yep. Our good
Yeah.
friend found out all
It was something to
about
do
it.
with JK, wasn't it? There
Something
was
happened
these
to JK
facetious
as well.
comments written. Yeah, those are the ones I personally saw. It was kind of like these facetious comments written to J.K. Rowling, and it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
okay, multiple people saying the exact same thing,
Yeah.
and especially when we live in an age of copium. There's
Yep.
a lot of
Yep.
copium going around at the minute, and
I'd say mental health
people
disorders, but that's just me.
God Christ, people
Yeah.
reluctant to admit when they're wrong.
They can't.
People who can't
It's like an illness.
admit when something has failed.
Yeah.
And I couldn't, especially when we're in a denial of ratings and how successful things are. Like I said when we did
Yeah.
that member stream, I'm not surprised. I'm really not that they use bots to promote it. I mean, what was it? Yeah, I mean, I think I remember. Was it AI? Yeah, they're using AI now to promote Doctor Who.
Oh yes, and then admitting to it. Yeah, admitting to it as well. We're using technology here. We're using Russian bots.
Which is funny, isn't it? Because in this day and age, I mean, we saw the backlash they give to, was it Big Finish? When Big Finish
Yeah.
dared to use a bit of AI on that in like cover ads, the reaction they got. So yeah, you're
I
playing
know.
with fire with this fandom.
Yeah.
Everyone hates AI. I don't
Yeah.
know. I personally think it's just the technology of the future.
It's a tool.
But I can
It's a
understand
tool.
why people would agree. Yeah,
If it's
I
used right,
suppose
it's good. If it's
when the
used as a
internet became a
weapon, it's
thing,
bad.
when
Yeah.
the internet became a thing, I suppose everyone was terrified their jobs would be taken over by AI robots or whatever. Where it's a modern day technology. I
Yeah.
think there should be some. I think if you want to get into it, there should be some sort of legal, maybe something like a watermark that should, like proof that should indicate whether something is personally handcrafted or some sort of AI generated. I don't know.
But that's
You can
the
get
thing,
around it
mate.
maybe that way.
Yeah, that's the thing. What's going to happen? It's made Rabbi's life a lot easier. He makes his thumbnails in 10 minutes instead of 10 hours. But that's it. It's a tool.
What is it? Is it Photoshop? I wish I need to start, getting on this because I could make some
I haven't used Photoshop in
decent
years.
thumbnails, I suppose.
I was trained back in the 90s.
Yeah, well, how I'm using my thumbnails, I'm going on Snapchat in a minute and like I put it in there and then I use the text and then put the text over the picture. So that's literally how I'm doing it right now.
I do a lot of editing in
yeah,
Microsoft Word for pictures, weirdly enough.
I don't know. I'll have to speak to Brendan or something. He does it as well. Let's see what he can think about it.
Speak to Rabbi as well.
Yeah.
He does a lot of it. He's trained in it, so he's trained in the
Yeah,
dark
he
arts.
isn't he? And I think Dan's got background in it, in this kind of.
Yep, Dan as well.
Field.
He could point you in the right direction.
But
yeah,
it's a funny one, isn't it? Bots and AI and using it to promote the era. I mean,
yeah,
definitely.
As I said, it's a tool, and it's like a firearm. You can use it for target practice and have a lot of fun, or you can use it to go around killing people and get arrested for it, and imprisoned.
Yeah.
It's a tool.
There is that. If you're feeling a bit adventurous, there is that.
Yeah. Rob, yeah. Not
Uh,
saying anyone should go rob anywhere with a firearm, but there is that thing. You
yep.
can use it for
We
hunting
do
or
not
target
endorse.
practice.
We do not endorse. I've only just
Yeah,
started this channel. I
yeah.
don't want to get
No, no,
ripped
no.
off
I'm just
already.
showing the two sides, the black and the
Kick Jack
dark and
away,
the
kicking and
dark and the
screaming.
lighter side of the force, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's like
okay,
the
so we've
force,
got the
really.
AI bots. What was it? We got Moth. Okay, the big one. The big one. The Moth. The Moth is back, or allegedly. Allegedly.
Hopefully, yeah. Working with an acquaintance of
Okay.
mine.
Fingers crossed. Some would
Yep.
say some are jumping for joy. Some people prefer Moffat to the Chibbers. The Chibbers. Well, everyone's better than Chibbers. I
Oh
mean, Russell.
God, yeah. Yeah, Russell at the moment, I prefer Moffat any day of the week. I forgive Moffat. If Moffat forgives me, I forgive him. I didn't realize his Doctor Who was actually the best.
Yeah,
I think the
come
problem is
back.
us.
All is
Yeah,
forgiven.
yeah, yeah. I think the problem is us fans. We were like bloody connoisseurs at the time. We're like, oh, this wine doesn't smell right. Oh, I think it's corked. If you know what I mean. When we should have been like, oh, actually, that's quite good. That was quite good.
Uh,
Yeah, I think we're
I
playing like
suppose you can
Doctor
only
Who
act on
connoisseurs.
the best information you have at the time.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know.
I suppose that was our biggest problem, Moffat. We were expecting something and we just got something else. And we're like, oh, this is a Doctor Who as I remember in the 70s. Kind of thing.
I
It's
suppose
like
that's
John
kind of what
Nathan
you get, though,
turned.
isn't it?
Yeah,
When you had that grounded approach of
yeah,
the Russell era, then you sort of get into more mystical and fantasy.
yeah,
I'm not up on a series 6 at all. It's a
yeah,
fairly weak season for me. The way I look at it is that series 5 is a good season with bad episodes in it,
yeah,
whereas series 6 is a bad season with good episodes in it,
yeah. I
like
thought
Doctor's
six part
Wife,
one was all right.
etc.
Yeah, six part one was great. Six part two was like, where is this going?
Yeah, and I thought with series 7 it kind of went back to grounded again. Once Amy had fucked off, I was like,
Yeah,
once Clara came on, but I thought the stories. I was watching it again recently, and I thought,
yeah,
wow, I was actually surprised like how good like certain episodes, like Journey to the Centre of the Tardis. I haven't watched that in God know how many years, but I watched that
yeah,
and I actually quite enjoyed it. And I thought,
yeah,
I quite liked Moffat, you know Matt Smith in grounded stories because it was good.
yeah,
It was good. It was good. It's good.
yeah.
Decent
I got
little
some
era they
head.
had
Yeah,
going there.
I got some headcanon for that episode. Everyone goes, oh, well, that's not the Eye of Harmony. I said, well, they had to recreate the experiment to power the TARDIS. Instead of
Yeah, I
having
think you told
to
me that,
fill
didn't
it, yeah, instead of having to fill it up on a rift in Cardiff, every 5 minutes.
you? Yeah. I suppose that could explain why they didn't stop there anymore because we saw it,
Yeah,
was it
didn't need
twice,
to.
3 times they
Yeah,
had to refill this thing in the early season. I mean, never bothered again after that. Maybe finally
yeah,
fixed the bloody problem, but
yeah, by
not for
recreating the experiment.
returning. Yeah, I mean, it was it was the thing, wasn't it? That's always been lingering. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
really new news. I mean, it's kind of came a lot more now, but
yeah,
it's been around a bit, hasn't it? Constant talk. Oh, would he come back?
yeah.
But
I hope he does. I mean, the thing about Doctor Who canon, you got to realize sometimes it's a bit loose and a bit fancy free, but it's still canon now. That's the problem. It's my big problem.
oh yeah. Just because it's a bit more flexible doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I know. It's just the whole
And I
thing
think
about it. Yeah, it's just the whole thing about it. It's like you got to remember it's a bit loose. Think the what was it the ring, the ring of Rassilon's changed form about 5 times.
probably
So
and
yeah,
small thing. That's the thing, isn't it? Because they say oh, Doctor Who's always changing its canon. Did it though? Because if you think
it
back,
was.
the classic Who was there really that many huge instances of where like continuity was really like questioned, like apart from unit dating, and that's
Yeah,
probably the biggest example. Like, was there really any like other really large like incident? Because I don't think there really was.
not really. I mean, it's all small things. It was just like what props do, or what this item does, or when he was on this planet, kind of thing. And we had saw it in what
Yeah,
what was the one? What Time Lash? Where it's got a picture of what was it? So, sorry, John Pertwee in the background. It's like it was never explained when he was
yeah,
there
and
and
it was
what he
kind
was
of
doing.
Yeah, like a oh, sort of like a story that wasn't like an off-screen story that we never saw or
Yeah,
something like that.
exactly. It's happened a couple of times. It happened with was it Zoanna as well?
Yeah,
We're
you
supposed
know,
to see his computer, and he never saw the bloody
it's
computer.
always
It's like,
I
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I just it's one of those things I just thought was always
yeah,
things that gets me. Doctor Who doesn't have a canon. Of course, that's a canon.
yeah.
You know,
It
it's
does,
just
but it's
they're
not.
not taking it too seriously at the minute.
It's not Star Trek canon where you get whipped if you get it wrong. Apart from your Alex Kurtzman.
Well, speaking
Uh,
of Star Trek, what was it? I think, well, the current stream that I was on, I think Rabbi covered it. It was something saying, I think was it Screen Rant? It probably would have been Screen Rant or
Yeah,
CPR,
probably
one of the
she'll
two.
run. Yeah, she'll run.
One of those guys over there, those basket cases. One of them suggesting that apparently Star Trek should follow in Doctor Who's footsteps when it comes to canon, and it cited the Timeless Child as an example.
Oh
so,
my
so
god, yeah. That's like saying everything should copy Star Trek Discovery now. It's like that's one of the worst Star Treks available.
it was, if I remember correctly, it was a fairly laughable
I know. I was
article,
like,
as they always
what?
are. I mean, it was literally, it's always bottom of the barrel scraping. It's
Yeah,
literally stuff like, I mean, they're literally paid by the word, aren't they? They'll come out with some claptrap
yeah,
that, you know, one line of dialogue that the Doctor said 60 years ago is now going to come back
yeah,
in some big, huge, relevant thing, and it's
yeah,
like, really, really,
yeah. I know. As I said, Doctor Who's a bit looser with the canon of other shows, but it's still got canon until Chris Chibnall turns up.
yeah.
I mean, that's it. The thing
But of
about it is, they
course,
said
it
about
wasn't just the mob.
yeah, yeah.
Go ahead, go on.
No, what was I saying the other day? It's like saying that Star Trek had to copy Doctor Who, but isn't Doctor Who copying Star Trek and going on these weird directions with DI characters and all that? What's happening now?
Well, they said that about the Saints Row games. You know that the Saints Row was originally a kind of like a GTA rip-off,
Yeah,
and then years later down the line, you started seeing things in GTA like flying cars and everything. Things got a lot more
yeah,
silly, lazy and stuff. Then they kind of flipped, and then everyone started taking the piss out of Rockstar, saying, "Oh, well, you're just
yeah,
copying Saints Row now." When before it was the other way
yeah,
around, and it's like
yeah,
it probably is a bit of that. It's you know you were copying us, now we're copying you. But I was just
yeah.
going to get on
Arson,
the
yeah,
point there, now that we've got the Moffat back, and of course we saw the director. Now, of course, can't get into too much detail because again,
nope.
common courtesy and professional conduct. But you've mentioned that you have met this person, or know
Oh,
of this person.
yeah, quite well know of him. I met him at university in
So
my third and final year. So yeah, I've met him. Came off to me as a lovely guy. I mean, he had a lot of issues in his life. Went to the National Film and Television School in the end and qualified it on a scholarship and qualified it at the NTFS or NTFS. Yeah, sorry, I thought they talking about the television standards for that previous period of time. But yeah, we had a lovely chat with him. He was very open, very nice guy, and it was just a pleasure to be around. I think I escorted him back to the end. He was very apologetic to me because we were the last year doing television production at that university, so I got him really well. I'm kind of proud he got it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it adds that. I was saying, I think I said that it adds that extra kind of flavor to it now, doesn't it? That now that it's not
Yeah,
just some any old director that you've never heard of, or like
yeah,
whether it's Rachel Taylor again, someone you're like, okay, yeah, someone's done
yeah,
Doctor Who before.
yeah,
Now it's someone who you possibly you've met or you've seen
yeah.
before, doing it. So
Sorry,
it's
yeah,
I know you've kind of checked out of the show at the minute, haven't you? So
yeah,
would you be wanting to give that a go when it comes out, especially if it is Moffat, if it's confirmed that Moffat is writing it and it's
yeah,
your mate directing it, would that
yeah.
would that encourage you to check it out?
I would watch the special just for those two things, but as only professionally, I wouldn't really watch it, as a fan anymore. I'm a bit checked out, but I'm just a bit checked out the show, as you just said. Just so like too many mistakes going off the rails, if you know what I mean. So, but yes, I would check that one out.
Well, yeah, a lot of people feel like that. I mean, again, we were on stream last night, and I got to the point where I was even saying again, you know, I feel like it's too stressful at the minute following the show because you're constantly on edge, whether something's
Yeah,
going to come around and shit down your throat. You're terrified
exactly. Yeah,
that something's going to get up,
yeah.
and you shouldn't feel like that. So it's
No.
to the point where I'm left feeling I have to sort of check out just temporarily, go watch something else, do something else, focus on something else. And I keep mentioning it and I keep talking about it. But June, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm just so surprised that,
Yeah,
you know, we're still getting the occasional good movie from,
yeah,
cinema in Hollywood these days. And it's
yeah,
like, oh, I've not watched the original '84 movie. I've not read the books, so I've got no, connection to the source material. I understand. I think you said something in a comment, that they've changed a few things for the books, which I can understand because,
yeah,
well, it depends on the type of changes and the severity of it.
yeah,
Because if it's a major plot line that you just ripping apart, then fair
yeah,
enough. But like, just natural things, because at the end of the day, there are differences between a novel and a book.
yeah.
If you
Loads.
read Harry Potter movies, there's a big difference between the movies and the books because in a book you can make it as long as you want and you can fill it with as much detail as you want. Right, a movie, you've got 2 hours at best, really, haven't you? And I think they've done that, haven't they? They've had to make it
Yeah,
part one and part two.
yeah, yeah. They're planning to do a part 3, but we don't know if it's going to be Dune Messiah or it's going to be the I can't remember the name. One of the Dune Origins book. I can't remember what it's called. One about the robots. So I don't know yet.
It was one I did do a bit of research because I was actually quite curious about it, and so I looked at the books, and it's a bit awkward trying to find the books because there's not many. I don't know if there's many prints about them,
Yeah,
or I don't know. It just seemed a bit hard to find them, and they were either like I found one, but it was over in America. I thought, well, I'm not getting
yeah,
that shipped. Um, but yeah,
yeah.
one was like Children of Dune or something, and then one was like
Oh, that's good. That's good.
it's six of them. I think there's six of them in total, and yeah, you're right. It
Yeah,
was Dune Messiah, that the next one, but
that's
apparently
good
it's
as
not.
well. That's good as well.
I read an article about it, and they said that it's not quite what people are expecting if they make a third
Yeah,
film, or like they might have difficulty because that book isn't quite the same as the book that follows it because
they're
it's
saying they're going
less
to have
action, is less
difficulty.
less focus on. Well, I can't remember where I
They're
read it,
saying that.
so I can't. It was a bit
Sci-Fi
the
Channel
article I
pulled it
read.
off.
Yeah, it was basically it went sort of along the lines of that it's a different nature, but it's a different tempo, it's a slower pace, it's a different nature or something like that. I have to see if I can try and find it, but it was basically just yeah, it was basically just talk about the third film, and if they ever make one, to not expect it to be like the second one. But I thought, well, I mean, I don't know because I mean, again, I don't know the books, but again,
Yeah,
this will be one of the changes I'd imagine they could make, couldn't they? With it being adapting it from a novel to a feature length
yeah,
film.
yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the original one. Oh, the Machine Crusade. That was it. Or the Buterin G had. That would be good. They did those. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, but
let's have a look
saying
actually,
that
see
though,
which
Sci-Fi Channel has already done a brilliant adaptation of both Dune Messiah and Children of Dune, so it's possible. It's not impossible. I mean, it's a bit. I mean,
yeah, I suppose it's just
besides yeah,
they need to get
yeah,
if they can just work hard. I suppose
yeah,
it's other than you know just because it's difficult. They can still do it.
yeah. Well, it's more difficult the more you should do it. This is what they're saying now. It's too difficult. I'm not going to do this anymore. It's like, oh god, just wincing out. Produce it. If it's not too great, then it's not too great. But at least you tried. And then the person following could probably do a better one. When they remake it in 20 years' time.
Well, it certainly seems that they're poised to make a third one. I mean, the second one did
Yeah,
certainly end on a cliffhanger, so to speak.
yeah,
It did seem to set up more. So I'd be very hard
yeah,
pressed if they didn't release another one, and it seems to have done well as well. Apparently, at
yeah.
the a lot of box office or whatever. But then there's a lot. Everyone's talking about the bloody popcorn bucket, that
Oh
shape
yeah.
of the worm, or whatever that was. It's a bit of a meme at the minute. It's kind of went everywhere.
Yeah.
So
Oh god.
there's no reason why they
Yeah.
couldn't. It's just about whether they will. I'm gonna have a
Yeah,
look actually. Dune books. Which what are they?
they're inside the Dune franchise on Wikipedia.
We've
List all the
got
novels. Got loads of them. Massive franchise of books. It's more of a novel franchise than it is a film franchise.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
No, Dune Giant Children of Dune, God Emperor of Dune, Heretics of
yeah,
Dune, Chapter House Dune.
yeah. That's the one.
Yeah, I mean, I liked them. You know, it was. I remember. I think when I watched the first one, I liked it. I don't know what I think it was probably down to my own expectations, but I think
Yeah,
I found it a little bit slower than I thought it would be.
it's a
But
very
again,
slow
that was
film.
on me. So yeah. So I thought, well, setting things up. I thought,
It
okay,
is.
that was my own problem. I went into it expecting it something different, but then I thought, but for the actual movie that it was, I did quite like it though, and I
Yeah,
look forward to the second one. I thought, well, it's long, so I thought I like a good long movie, and it was fantastically. I think it's really well directed. I thought,
yeah,
very convincible. I mean, the effects on these two films, especially the second one. I mean,
yeah,
they were fantastic. I mean, I couldn't. That was probably one of the biggest things that I took away from it, because yeah, there's a lot of good effects nowadays. I mean,
yeah,
you know, Doctor Who with all this extra pumped up steroid juice it's got now,
yeah.
he's got extra budget and extra effects. And when I watched Wild Blue Yonder, I did notice that the effects did look better. But it's
Slightly.
like,
Yeah,
and there's a lot of modern movies. There's a lot of modern movies that I watch now, but it didn't jump out at me as much as the Dune movies did.
oh
About
yeah, they're
how
amazing.
convincing these planets actually looked. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah, I remember that was a good thing I took away from it. But I just thought, you know, I was actually surprised to actually enjoy watching it, and I was surprised. I mentioned this kind of flippantly in an offhand comment, but as I said, I'm surprised they've even greenlit this movie. To have
yeah.
a white character come in and basically be a lead and save these kind of
But
these
there's a
sort of
reason he's white though, because he
these
comes from
these
Caladan.
culture these heavily religious cultured
Yeah,
background kind of wasteland dwellers tribal people.
yeah, yeah. But as I said, he comes from Caladan, so all those people on Caladan are white. So
Well, he's always saying it, isn't he? How French he is. No, I'm French, guys.
Oh yeah, I'm part French. I'm from where was it, Quebec or somewhere?
Somewhere
Oh
like that.
yeah.
I think
So
it was
David Villeneuve.
Timothy Charlemagne. It's not Timothy. I know that.
Timothée, Timothée, I call him the Tempu. Oh, they set themselves up. Oh yeah, I thought he was good in it though, as Paul. You know, I thought he was going to goof it, but he didn't. So that's fine. Zendaya looked like she was eating a lemon most of the time though.
Say who again?
Zendaya, whatever she's called.
Oh, oh yeah. She didn't look very happy a lot. But then
She
again, he
doesn't.
wasn't very happy either. I don't know if that was just like his take on the character, or whether that was just a character that is written. Not a very happy chap.
Yeah.
Not many comedic one-liners, is there? No, it's very serious
No.
people, very serious
No.
characters. But I suppose you would be if you had just your father's died and you'd just been betrayed and your whole
Yeah.
house, your whole clan's been wiped out like that. I don't know. But
Well,
I thought it was
partly.
a great film. I just thought I'd mention it because I was surprised to see you know especially with it being a franchise. I mean, it wasn't a franchise I'd ever heard about. I looked at
Yeah.
so again when I saw it. The books were written in the '60s. It's kind
Yeah.
of I suppose if we didn't have these two movies, would it be forgotten about, or would it be like a bit of a
Yeah.
cult classic? Because you've got things like Doctor Who, you've got your Star Treks, you've got your Lord of the Rings, anything else that's sort of big in pop, in these modern franchises that
Yeah.
like Star Wars as well. The main guys, and it's like, if we didn't have these two movies, it would have been June would have been these I guess classic books that were written yonks ago, 60 years ago, and then
Yeah.
got a sort of maybe a slightly bad film in the '84. I mean, I've seen a few clips of it, and yeah, it's very dated,
Yeah.
and some of the acting I think is a bit well, it could be better to say this to
Yeah.
quote
Yeah.
Christian. No, could
Yeah.
be slightly
Yeah.
better acted. Um,
But that was a thing for the time, though.
but
You
you
got to
know, I
realise
think
that.
yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
always saying that to people. You know, it's just,
So
you
it's
judge it.
times, yeah.
You always try and judge it at the time it came out. But I just thought I mentioned it because I thought that I really thoroughly enjoyed those two films. But
Yeah.
the
I haven't seen
meat,
the second one
the
yet.
meat and the meat of the stream. I think the reason that
Yeah.
I'm here, that I wanted to do this one was, of course, the news we got yesterday. And it's funny because it
Oh
worked
yeah.
out perfectly because I got I planned this stream before uh, we found out that. I mean, I planned it based on someone in downstream asking me when my next stream was. I thought, well, okay, when is my next stream?
yeah.
Someone had to remind me. Mark Milford it was. So yeah, I
Yeah.
had to come up with a date. Okay, I'll do Saturday. I'm free Saturday. I'll ask PD,
Yeah.
see if he can do it. So I thought,
Yeah.
okay, and then we got the bloody news yesterday about the Disney not involvement is involvement, not involvement.
Oh yeah. You can see that now.
Oh,
Totally.
absolutely
It's the biggest
clear as
thing.
day. Clear as
Yeah.
day. Um,
Yeah.
I'm still trying to make sense of it. Um, I'm struggling, to be honest. I will
Yeah.
admit that it's. I think I've got it more now, but it's like it was such. Changing things for the sake of change,
Yeah.
isn't always a good thing. We know that.
No.
It's why it's what my thing is. Why couldn't we just stick to the format that we had for the
Yeah.
60th? We had it at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay, we had it at 7 p.m. It was on iPlayer whenever it came out, probably after or probably during it, whatever.
Hey Charlotte.
Hello, Charlotte. Thank you for popping in. Highlight your comment there for you, and we'll highlight Aaron. Is it? How do you say that name? I'm sorry. How do you say that name?
More or Morai.
Amore. That's
More
amore.
Morai.
Well, I mean, I could probably do some cinnamon toast crunch right now. I mean, I've never tried it. I'm still sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
I've had
sorry,
it
Simon.
ages ago.
I'm still yet to find it.
One of my staple
I can't find
diets
it
as a
anywhere. I
child.
can't find it.
Oh, what's it? So it's called something else in this country. It's like, it used to be called cinnamon grahams. It's made
I've
by
got to find it one
Nestle.
day. My mission in life, but yeah, I'm so easily distracted. To get back on
Yeah.
point. I mean, goodness me.
Yeah.
What was it? Yeah, Disney. My point was, why couldn't we just stick to the format that we had for the 60th? But we got it at the appropriate time. It was then dropped on iPlayer whenever it came out, probably after it finished, you know, and then it would
Yeah.
be put on Disney Plus. What was wrong with that? Because
Yeah. Exactly.
I said this to myself, and I said this on a different stream. Maybe this is just sour grapes from me. Maybe this is just, pedantic way of looking at it. I don't think it is. I think it's a fairly balanced point. But why aren't we the priority? As far as I'm concerned, this is a British institution. It's a British show. It's going to be most known here. More everyone, yeah. Even people, if you ask someone, "Oh, have you done what Doctor Who is?" They'll probably okay. Well, I don't watch it, but I know of it. Same with Darth Vader. So these kind of things that most people know about. And in the UK, the home of the show, it's arguably, it's honest. Well, it's
Yeah.
going to be more known here. So why not have the prime spot be here? Why? I mean, I get it. Why? I know. I know. I think I know why. Why does America get the perfect time 7 p.m. time slot?
I know. It's
I would say
crazy.
Disney. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, as I said, this has definitely shown them up to be in charge of Doctor Who now. For now, just because California gets the best. Who gets the best in the matter? So I'm just trying to find you something. I found out something. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is, isn't it? That's what I think. I can't see it being anything but. I mean, it's. I mean, how couldn't it be? I was on a stream and again we were I think we were discussing about how much involvement Disney had, and this particular person didn't seem to think there was. And I said to him, "Well, I mean, just look at some of the creative changes. I mean, even in show, even in universe, even on the show, why? No, we saw it, didn't it, with the Christmas episode? We weren't supposed to have
Yeah.
uh, shooting appear so early. That was that. I remember that scene because I thought that extra scene they filmed with him in the kilt and all that, and in the club. I thought that scene was for the next Christmas special because that was filmed
Yeah,
very close to the air date of the actual episode. I remember I thought I saw it and I thought people, oh, it's for the
yeah,
next Christmas special. I thought they were that far ahead. And then when I watched the
yeah,
episode and thought, hang on, that's that scene of him walking down the street in the kilt with the leather jacket on with the police officer. And
yeah,
I remember the Twitter account. We were all discussing, what's the same? We couldn't quite make it out. And I thought, oh, I thought, well, that's very late on. So this is obviously the scene that they tacked on. So that was proof in there
yeah.
of in itself of how much they're evolved. And and
Scrapbooking, yeah,
in their credit, and I think I
yeah,
said this, and I think Charlotte, I think might have said this. It was a fairly good
yeah,
scene, and I think it was a
yeah.
smart decision that actually Disney did make. In fairness,
Apart from the
because
snowman bit.
well, yeah, we wouldn't get into that,
Yeah,
but in
yeah,
fairness, you know, I think it was a smart because at the end of the day, we're here to see Shooty. I like Millie, but
yeah,
we want to see the new Doctor, and I think. Well, I suppose it depends because if you took that episode, if you took that clip out, what would the runtime be? But it was, I think I clocked it about, was it 12 minutes? Was
yeah,
it? I can't remember. It was around there. It was about the time that he eventually did show up was the right time.
yeah,
We've got a comment from Charlotte here. I'll just put it on the thing. The whole change with midnight release, I don't get. It's just really royally annoyed the British fans as we are second choice now with this, and that's the point I'm trying to make. This is a British show, so it's a British institution. It's going to be most known here. The show is most known about here, and again, maybe this is sour grapes. I don't think it is, but with all due respect, some fan over in Bulgaria, I think I saw one person, is going to have to just sort of ideally, I'd like everyone to watch it at a perfect time, but time zones exist and someone's got to
yeah,
draw the short straw. My point is, why should it have to be us?
yeah. It's our
Because
show.
it's again, it's our show, and I saw people trying to argue that it's not anymore, it's global. No, it'll always be a British show. That will never
Filmed in
change.
Wales. It's part of the
Unless
UK.
you just rip it, unless you just stop making it here and then make it in
Yeah,
America and do it like the TV movie and make it all Americanized.
yeah.
But
It's
even
licensed
then,
by BBC Studios. Yeah,
yeah.
no,
But
it's
even then, even
ours.
if they did do that, even when they did the TV movie, it was still a British
Yeah,
franchise.
we still got it before they did.
It's an English show really. That's now
Yeah,
made in Wales. So
it
I
was
suppose they just say British.
subcontracted for the BBC. You know, like it is
Yeah,
built now being
I just think,
subcontracted for BBC Studios. You know, it's
yeah,
ours.
I'm just disappointed by it really because
Yeah, yeah.
I had to,
I
I did my video on it and I missed out the
yeah,
fact about time zone, so I had to re-record it again because it was too. I missed out a point, and the point was too big to miss out on. I had to redo it
yeah,
again because it wouldn't be a faithful video if I didn't include it. And it was just, I just
yeah,
didn't think it was a smart decision because I mean, how can it be? You've got your
yeah.
core audience here. This is the core audience. They are here, and it really has killed family viewing because there's no way I can imagine parents are going to be letting their kids staying up until 12 o'clock
No,
just to avoid
no.
spoilers. They'd say, "No, you're watching it tomorrow,
Yeah,
or later on in the day. If it's past midnight, yeah, then it'll be later on the day. Go to school, come home, and then we'll watch it on terrestrial TV." Now, for a child, it shouldn't be that bad because I can't
no.
imagine. Well, actually, I wish, but children probably are on TikTok now. You probably do have a 10-year-old with a phone, with an iPhone, with TikTok and everything. I didn't because I was raised properly, but
Yeah,
that's the norm now. You've got 5-year-olds with iPhones now, and it's
yeah,
but that is the thing. You've got families. I mean, I've started watching it with my family again. For years, when we got to the Capaldi years, I watched it on my own because
yeah,
that's what teenage boys do. Uh, but then I thought, well, for the 60th, I thought, well, the Whittaker era is over now. The Chibnall's era is done. I know. I know. I thought, well, it's a fresh start. And I thought, well, it's the 60th anniversary. It's Tennant coming back. I remember my family and I used to watch it religiously when Tennant was the Doctor, and when
yeah,
it eventually went into Matt Smith. So I thought, let's all watch it together. So when we did, and then we watched the Christmas special together, and I had quite a good time. I think us watching it together impacted my
yeah,
enjoyment of the episode.
yeah.
But now it's gone back again. So I can't do that. So
Yeah,
that's back to me because the only way I can, I mean, it's still possible, but the only way if I want to watch it with my family, the only way I can do that is if I go off the grid
yeah.
and
14 hours,
watch it
yeah.
and watch was it for wait 14 hours? Is that how long it is from midnight to 7
17 hours till like
p.m.?
7 p.m.
Yeah, so I've got to wait that long. I've got to delete Twitter because, and again, I was on a stream before, and he's a lovely chap, but he did say like, oh, he didn't seem to get the point. He didn't understand why so many people were aggrieved
Yeah,
by this. And now I basically made the point was, why should I have to delete Twitter just to avoid spoiler? And I meant the point about Dune again. Like if
yeah,
I wanted to see the film, so if I want to see the film, I go and bloody see the film. If I want
yeah,
to see the film and then don't bother, and then search it up on YouTube and then it gets spoiled, well, that's my fault, isn't it? Because I should have
yeah,
bloody went and saw it when I had the opportunity. But this is a TV
yeah,
show. Um, you're airing it twice. It's going to be spoiled about. It's going to spoil. It's going to be spoiled because that's just the nature of fandom.
yeah,
Um, and it's. I'm gonna have to wait because with it's a film at the cinema, it's only gonna be showcased for for a week or two at most. Whereas
yeah,
this is going to be
yeah, yeah,
broadcast twice in one day, and it's if I basically have the option of seeing it straight away when it comes out first thing and staying up,
yeah,
or again going off the grid just so I can watch it with my family on the classic traditional format that we would watch it. And I just don't think that's again. Why should I have to go out my way to do that?
yeah. I
Again,
know.
it really is screwing over the British viewer.
Yeah, we should have it at 7 p.m. the day before they get in California. Really, so technically it's out.
There's a
BBC
point as
as
well
Charlotte
about the
said.
license fee.
Charlotte made it. Yeah, Charlotte's made it. We're paying it. That money's going to BBC Studios to pay for the license for Joshua Davis to make it. So, but as I said, this is a big indicator Disney's behind all this. They've been pulling the strings from day one. Especially all the reshoots. That's what they do. Reshoot, 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 reshoot. They call it scrapbooking. They've done it done it for all the Star Wars films. And they sit there picking and chopping and changing and modifying the show. I mean, it's never the original show you see. I mean, I'm saying that, we never see the original cuts of anything really. But you know what I mean? We see kind of a clean cut. You never see it. You never see the assembly cut. But it's like, what are you doing? You know, you can't
I
never see
just
the
think
yeah,
it's a good point about the TV license fee though, because again,
yeah,
people, I'm paying for this. I pay for my license because why do I pay for my TV license? I like EastEnders. There is shows on there that I
yeah,
do watch, so I can get the value of it. A Match of the Day as
yeah. If
well,
you can get the
football.
value, it's a great thing.
If you can
Yeah,
get it's a subjective thing. I'm all for people to defund the BBC and all that. I'm
yeah,
all for people to do that. But personally, I can still get enjoyment out of it.
yeah,
Or get value for money, I guess would be the better
yeah,
word for it. But I just think Americans they haven't got it on their terrestrial because it's again they're getting it perfect because they're not only are they getting it in the prime spot of 7 p.m. in the evening, come home from work, or their families can watch it together. They don't have like a BBC thing over there where they can
yeah,
they're getting it just on they're getting it just on Disney Plus, aren't they? They're not getting it on their terrestrial TV, so they
yeah,
get the opportunity to see it once. Um, so they're avoiding spoilers because obviously it's
yeah,
a global release time, so everyone will be able to watch it anyway, so that they won't get spoiled. They haven't got to stay off Twitter and go off the grid just to avoid it, or wait,
yeah,
hours and hours again. Every way you slice it, they've got the perfect advantage. So there's
yeah,
a lucky buggers over there because I just and again, people will say, oh, you just you just wish it was you that you just fucked off because it's not you that's being catered to for once.
yeah,
And I suppose you know I go back to my point. This is a British
yeah.
show.
But you are
The
technically
audience
paying a
over there in
TV
America,
license for
the
it. You
audience,
know what I mean?
yeah, and again that's the point. What's the point in paying for it when I don't get
Exactly.
the privileges of
You
paying
don't
for
even
it?
get first dibs on
Okay,
their own shows anymore.
You've got Disney Plus, which you pay however many for, but you get all the other shows for that.
Yeah,
But again, I'm paying for the TV license to watch it both on the iPlayer and on terrestrial TV, and it's there's no benefit to that. Again, like I
Yeah,
say, every way you slice it, there is no they get the advantage on every one. Um,
yeah.
Another comment. I blame Disney for the time change. I blame Disney for the changes in the show. Disney is evil. Well,
Amen to
I'm
that.
in no position to argue. I'm in no position to argue. Mainly because I can't. I can't. I look at that comment there and I can't disagree because how can I?
Yeah,
I mean, they are behind this. You know, this is their decision. They've absolutely got their fingers in the pie. But
yeah.
it's the backlash of it as well because that hasn't gone down the way Russell thinks it has either. Because if you just go on his Instagram, comment after
Always.
comment of people saying, and I took screenshots, and everyone's just like, even people on the other side are like, well, what, why, why? I mean, I know one person is even setting up a petition. He's asking people to
Wow.
go and sign a petition to amend this because I mean, Noel said it right. I think is
Yeah,
it I don't mean like Doctor Who is dead in the way that most people are saying Doctor Who is dead, but like
yeah.
watching it, with your family. Doctor Who on Saturday nights is dead
Oh
because
yeah. Saturday nights in general are dead.
it's because at this point, if you still watch it in the traditional classic format,
Yeah,
the episode's already out by then.
yeah,
What is the point? And it's like it's the same reason that I don't watch EastEnders in the terrestrial classic format because and it's another point that I think someone else mentioned is that like they do it with EastEnders as well. They release that in the early hours of the morning, hours and hours and hours before it's eventually shown on on the actual night. So and that's what they're doing it. That's the format they're doing it now. They're doing what happens with EastEnders. They're doing for Doctor Who. So if you want to watch
yeah,
Doctor Who that bad, you want to be. I mean, I will because I'm a night. I mean, it doesn't really impact
yeah,
me
yeah, yeah,
personally that much because the only thing it really affects me is I won't be able to maybe watch it with my family because I'll probably have to
yeah,
watch it there and then because I'm not running the risk of avoiding spoilers. I can't do that. I'm not doing it. So I have to
yeah,
watch it there and then. But again, I'm young. I'm up all hours of the night anyway, so I'm fine.
yeah,
But again, this is the thing because it's not about me. It's about everyone else as well. Because some
yeah,
people they don't care about everyone else. They just think, "Oh, I'm all right then, so it doesn't bother me." Oh, it's fine. It's
yeah,
fine. That's what Doctor Who Twitter will do. They'll say,
yeah.
"Oh, it doesn't bother me, so it's okay. Stop crying about it." But it's not just about
I
me.
might know
It's
why
for
they're
my
doing
fellow
this
fan.
though. I've just had a theory, just epiphany in my head. They might doing it so California gets it, so they can go around tweeting how wonderful and how brilliant it is to try and get the fan base up or the watches up. So why they might be doing this, but then again, US watches don't count in this country.
Yeah, and it's what BBC America. That's
Yeah,
non-existent. I mean,
and that's probably down
and
to
it and
Disney
it's
needing a
again, and it's
success.
not even. Yeah, probably is, and
Yeah,
it's not even just this as well.
yeah,
Like this relationship with America goes back a little bit. I said it on the member stream last night.
yeah,
They released a Blu-ray collector's edition for New Who series
yeah,
1 to 13, and it's in a
yeah,
nice little box. And it's the one with the little figurines in it, and it's like a nice little letter. And
yeah.
it's basically if I can just get it, it's just up there.
Sure thing.
Um, so of
It's in
course
the
this
story
one
room.
we
That
got
one.
this. We got this, and they get a nice big fancy box.
Yeah,
I'm glad we have this because again, when I was discussing it with you, I was thinking,
yeah,
why have they released on Blu-ray yet again the first 4 seasons? We've already got that, and I was thinking, well, what's the difference? And of course, after a little bit of research, I find that there was a few tearing issues, audio synced up
yeah.
issues, a few problems with the original Blu-rays,
Well, you can tell
which
Eccleston
they've
was
since
right
fixed
though.
up.
You can tell
So I,
Eccleston was right about season one.
yeah,
Totally.
and
You know.
I just think we got that, and they got the Americans, their audience got the big fancy nice box set. I want that. I mean, I could
Yeah.
pay for it and get it put here, but I don't know if it'll work. There's region 1 and 2 and all that. I don't understand really all that.
I think
So
Blu-ray
that's the
will.
thing. That's why I
DVD
didn't get it.
won't.
Yeah,
Blu-ray
and I think
should
it was
do,
on
but DVD
Blu-ray, so it
doesn't.
probably would have been fine. But it's not the
Yeah.
point, is it? I shouldn't. Why are we not the ones getting that? Because I tell you,
Yeah.
if it's the other way around, if it's if this is Marvel or an
Yeah.
American brand, I bet the Americans would be quick to get the goodies. And I get it;
Oh
they're a
yeah.
bigger country, there's a bigger people, it's a bigger audience there waiting, so to speak. And
Yeah.
but I just think, and we saw it again with the Matt Smith era. With I think there were certain things in there as well where they were getting
Yeah.
extended trailers or something like that. There were a few
Yeah.
benefits there, which I get it. They want to try and get a market over there, but let's as we've seen, that's dwindled. We've got a
Yeah.
question from Shana as well. Um, Question for you too. What do you think? What do you think of them releasing 2 episodes at once? Yeah, that was the other thing as well. Uh, 2 episodes at once. I mean, yeah. I mean, the inner child in me, the inner Doctor Who fan. I mean, if you were to ask me when I was 10 years old, all right, Brandon. It's Saturday, it's Doctor Who Day, but you're not getting 1 episode, you're getting two. I'd probably scream and think, "Oh my god, yes! 2 episodes in one night!" Pwah! But then when you think about the sort of the logistics of it, I feel like it ruins suspense because
Yeah. Yeah.
the episodes are already getting shorter as it is. We're getting a reduced season, which I wasn't particularly happy about, but I thought, okay, quality over quantity, so I was happy to accept that, I suppose. And the fact they're all hour long, so it's 8 hours, I guess, of a season, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I think The
6
Witcher
now.
as well. That's 8 episodes, isn't it? And Sex Education was 8 episodes. Um,
Yeah.
and I suppose there's a Christmas special in there, so it really is 9. If you really want to argue that,
Yeah.
I just think Brenda mentioned this a bit about cliffhangers.
Yeah.
Cliffhanger. Are we still gonna have those? Are two-parters? Do we still have two-parters? Do we still have cliffhangers? And it's also just like, even as I just think it ruins the momentum of looking forward to
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
one episode a week. And I just think dumping it all in once. I mean,
Yep. That's
the time
dumping a
scales
quarter of
said
their
this.
season all at once.
Yeah, and I think I worry about are we going to get to the point where they are going to do it like I think how they did The Witcher and just drop the full season in one day? Are
Yeah.
we going to get to that point where they're going to
Binge
drop a whole
model. Yeah.
season drop two on one day? Because I'd hate for that to happen again. The 10-year-old in me would say would be loving this. Oh, all of Doctor Who in one go. But
Yeah.
again, when the actual the practicality and the again, it would ruin the suspense. It would ruin all the looking forward to it week by week. The building up to a climax. I remember
Yeah.
when Series 10 came out and they leaked. Well, I think they put it in the trailer, didn't they? Because I think they knew it would
Yeah.
be leaked anyway. But and we saw that John Sim was going to come back as a master. I lost my shit when that happened,
Yeah.
and I was so excited to watch that when John Sim would come back because I knew it was happening. I was so excited, and I thought, well, it's going to be at the end of the season, isn't it? Because it's naturally, and I was so excited for that. But it's let's say there's a big character and I think the '60s Beatles
Yeah.
one. I think that's the second episode of the season. Now imagine
Yeah.
if like a fan favorite character, let's say Captain Jack, was somehow in that episode
Well, that would be
for
good.
somehow. Then we're gonna get then we'd get there wouldn't be any suspense to it because we'd get them both dropped. So you'd watch the first one and then you'd go straight to the next one. And,
Yeah.
and we already have had enough time, is it, digesting, whether it's a good episode or not, and we talk about it on these streams.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
haven't had enough time with one, let alone two. So
Yeah.
and it's again, it's a small nitpick. It's not the end of the world, but it's again, it's change for change's sake.
Yeah.
We've got
So
Darren
do you think
M
episode
in
one
the
is
chat.
the Space
Thank you, Darren
Babies
M,
then?
for popping by.
Yeah. Do you think that
Say
episode one's
again.
gonna be the space? Do you think it's gonna be the Space Babies episode 1?
Yeah,
Or not?
I think it will
Yeah.
be because they're
All
in the
the
same
names
clothes,
are out
aren't they?
now.
I mean, Shooty's. I mean,
Yeah.
for once, Shooty's wearing the
Yeah.
same clothes. If you can actually believe that, Shooty's fucking wearing the same clothes.
Yeah.
He's just got his leather jacket off or his coat.
Yeah.
She's Ruby's still wearing her clothes. So yeah, I think that Space Babies. I mean, God,
Yeah. Space
that's
Rabies. Yeah.
a ridiculous title.
Oh, it's out on Wikipedia. Who's doing the Christmas special? Apparently, it's written by Russell.
Yeah, and that's another thing. He said, he definitely, he said in Doctor Who magazine he was one that was writing it,
Yeah,
and now, no, now it's alleged that Stephen's writing it. I mean, I know he throws up red herrings, but like,
yeah,
if you say you're writing it, you're writing it. Why would you? Then if I'm paying £10 or whatever it is, an
yeah,
inflated price for Doctor Who magazine, I don't want a magazine full of lies. Yeah, I
yeah,
want you to tell me the truth.
yeah,
Either you tell me the truth, or you don't say it all and keep it secret until you're
yeah,
ready to tell the truth. You know,
yeah,
I just think, yeah. So yeah, I think we're gonna have the spaceship one, which looks to be quite creepy. And again, I always say, don't I, that the creepier
yeah,
episodes are always my favorite.
yeah.
The midnights, the blinks, the darker stories, the caves of Antiplanet. They're
The
always my
one with the
favorite.
evil babies.
So this
Yeah,
next one looks to be quite a creepy one. Yeah, whatever that is. God, I mean, the
yeah.
monster, it looks like to be a creepy atmosphere. So that will be the first episode, I'm guessing. And then I think the
What
16th
is
one
it?
is the
Is it a
second one, the
Gen Z's
Devil's
worst
Claw title.
nightmare or something? Having a load of babies, a Gen Z's worst nightmare.
Possibly, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we're reluctant to have any children these days, this generation.
I know, I know. I
We've got
didn't have
another
any
question
either.
here from Mark. Marky boy, do you think the British audience is being punished for the low viewership of the 3 holiday specials and the fan backlash?
Backlash, yeah.
That's the word for it. Backlash for not embracing RTD's changes. Yes, sorry. Let's all bow down to King Russell. It was our fault. we apologise. How about you? How about you, PD? Have you got your hand on across your heart? Do you apologise for not watching? Is this your fault? This is your fault for not watching the Christmas special and not getting on board with Davros Gate. Davros
Seriously,
is an abled man now.
I
Davros
think
is
this is.
a thing of the
Oh
past.
God, yeah. I think this is really why the LGBT alliance was born, because of Russell T Davis. Everyone could be put up with him anymore. The more effeminate side of the
I'm not taking the
homosexuality.
piss out of you, Mark. By the way, I'm taking the piss out of the general the absurdity of imagine if that could happen. It's I mean it's a fair
Yeah,
question. I mean, do you think the British audience is? I don't know, but then I suppose Russell's always banging on it, isn't he, about how much he
yeah.
loves terrestrial TV? Classic Saturday night
He
sitting down.
really is sticking
He's
a
always
knife
talking
in the
about
back
that.
of the BBC he loves, isn't it? Really, it's
But
got a
it's like
massive
if
knife
if
in their
he loves
back.
the BBC as much as he says, or if he loves Saturday night tea time viewing as
Yeah,
much as he talks about sometimes, then why is he? I mean, we still got it. We do
yeah.
still have it,
At the
but
same time as
it's
everyone
nothing
else.
like it was before. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like we've got it. It's
midnight.
like
Yeah,
we've still got it, but like, oh yeah, hours after everyone else has saw it. It's a bit like
yeah,
I don't know. It's like going to a football match and already knowing the score. What's the point?
yeah.
It's
I know.
it's literally like that. Okay, oh you
It's
still
going to a
got
football
you can
match in
watch.
the dark, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, well, you can watch it at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Oh, on good old terrestrial BBC One TV.
Watching a
Well, yeah, but
fireworks display in the middle of the day, isn't it? Really?
everyone else has already saw it 14 hours before.
Yeah. All
I
I
just,
saw was a load of flashes. As I said, fireworks in the
yeah,
middle of the day. That's what it is. All I saw was
yeah.
everyone else's. It
I
is.
hear people even where I'm from, people setting up fireworks. And what's the point in setting a firework off in the daytime? You can't even see the bloody thing.
Exactly.
I hear them.
Yeah.
I hear them all hours of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to be that you'd hear it like around October, November, and then that'd be it. But like nowadays,
Maybe at
you hear
Christmas.
some.
Maybe at
I heard one the
January.
other day. Someone shot. I was it last night or the day before? Someone was set. It sounded like it was gunshots.
Yeah.
Someone's setting off fireworks. And it's like it's
Bangers. Yeah.
daytime. I mean,
Yeah.
what is the world coming to?
Yeah. It was just a kind of around
Or
bonfire
maybe the
night
BBC
and
saw it and was
January.
like, pass.
Yeah. Maybe we do it for our own safety.
Yeah.
You don't want to see this.
I mean, to be fair, there's a point there actually. Maybe I don't know. Because I can't imagine them. I can't imagine them admitting this to themselves. But like, the show has not quite got the audience it did have
No.
back in 2010, 2008. It's not. The show's in a different place now in terms of the British public. Do people even care anymore? I mean, I know we do. because we're
Yeah.
invested. But the average
Yeah.
person who maybe like checked out after like Matt Smith because they didn't quite
Yeah.
like Capaldi or something. Like, is the audience there? So maybe maybe there is a point to this. Maybe he's just saying, do you know what? Stick on streaming service and make it bigger, make it so like it is a
Yeah.
little bit more accessible. Where if you're in the UK, you can watch it on iPlayer. If you're anywhere else in the world, you can watch it on on Disney, and that is
Yeah.
it. It's less less focus on the actual British viewer of the TV.
Yeah.
TV paying license, paying viewer.
It might be. It might be the BBC have kind of had enough of it. And it's like, this is not working. This is not working. You said it'd work. You delivered crap. So we're just gonna, we'll just take it whenever, kind of thing. We'll just run it whenever. When it's least, least figgy to us. Oh, what's the word? Oh God, I can't find the word.
Yeah.
Inconsequential to us is probably a better word to use.
The money is coming from America, so the show is now catering to America, even though the most Americans couldn't give a toss about the show.
Yeah.
I mean, we've said,
What a
haven't we?
causality
That
paradox.
we've got, it's not there.
Yeah.
I mean, just fans there, but the BBC America thing of the past, it's not quite getting the numbers it is over there. And again, because it's not their show.
Yeah.
It's like football. They don't care about soccer. It's not their sport.
Yeah.
It isn't their show. It's not Star Trek. It's not Star Wars. It's not a Marvel. It's not their creation. It's
Yeah.
again. It's even in Europe. If you
Yeah.
go to Germany and like, so do you know what Doctor Who is? Like, probably one or two.
They got 1 a.m. haven't they?
It's crazy how much like, because I love Doctor Who. I prefer it's my favorite thing out of
Yeah.
Star Wars or anything like that. But that's it's
Yeah.
because it's true to me. Like, if I was American, okay, I might have heard of it. I might have heard someone mention it.
Yeah.
But, I'd be less likely to. I'll probably be more of a Trekkie if I was American,
Yeah.
probably. Just to
Yeah.
estimate, I guess, I suppose. But because it actually is ridiculous how much this is very local
Yeah.
to Britain. Because it's
Yeah.
it's our thing. My
If
point
it was
was
10
is that
p.m., it'd
okay?
be
You can have your
fine.
global. I don't mind the global. Yeah, exactly. My point. You can have your global. Everyone watch at the same time. That is okay. No
Yeah.
one's got a problem with everyone watching at the same time. No one's got a problem with it being on a streaming service. The only problem, the biggest problem that I have with all of it is that it's not at a convenient time for us. And I
Yeah.
think that we are the main audience, so why shouldn't we get the preferred time?
Yeah.
Because if we
We've
get
been
it, if we
paying for
get
it
it
for all
at
these
7
years.
p.m., if we get it at 7 p.m., uh, I mean, I know there's a difference between East Coast and West Coast. East Coast is
Yeah.
not that is a little bit closer behind us. I think like 5 hours
Yeah.
behind us, aren't they? I think so
Yeah.
because
So, West
I'm a
Coast. Yeah.
basketball fan, so Charlotte Hornets is like I watch them at like 12 o'clock at night, and it'd be like 7 p.m.
Yeah.
there. So
Yeah.
if they drop the episode 7 p.m. for us, then what
Yeah.
time would it be for them? What, maybe like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock?
Yeah. Something
It'd
like
be
that.
just afternoon. So it'd be a fair time for them as well, because
Yeah.
really, again, the focus is the Western audience, really. If we're going to talk about it globally,
Yeah.
because again, some bloke in Czechoslovakia or whatever who's got access to Disney Plus, again, it's a Western show anyway, so it's going to
Yeah.
be catered to the Western audience. So if we get it at 7 p.m. and they get it at 2 or 3 or whatever it is their
Yeah.
time,
China can't
it's
watch
still
it.
convenient for both of us.
Yeah.
China, well, they can't watch it anyway. They're not allowed
Yeah.
it. Australia probably I'd imagine be impacted the
Yeah.
most
Poor old
because it's like
Matt.
maybe
Poor old
4 in the
Matt.
morning there.
Yeah. Poor old Matt Pot there.
And I was thinking this yesterday. What about Rabbi? Because he's
Pete
like
Davidson,
2 hours
yeah.
ahead, isn't he? So it's even worse for
Yeah.
him, isn't it? Isn't it even worse
Yeah.
for
He's
him?
got 2 a.m., hasn't he?
Has he covered this? I haven't caught up.
Yeah,
on
he
the
was
stream
talking
feed,
about
but
it today. He was talking about it today on his stream. I didn't really get it because I walked in late because I was too busy to have Tinker Grouts cards all afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I'd love to
really,
see what
they've
he
really
thinks about
taken
this,
a
'cause I'd
massive
have thought
dump. Yeah.
he's getting the worst, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's an hour ahead, I think.
They've taken a massive dump on the UK and Ireland and Europe on this one. That's what I think is wrong. It's like, don't you love the EU,
in
Russell?
Rabbi's case, because he won't have terrestrial TV there, will he? He won't have the BBC One and all that. So he's getting it on, well, unless he uses a VPN or something like that. But he's getting it on Disney Plus, isn't he? So
Yeah.
I suppose he's got the benefit. Well, then does he? Because I suppose he doesn't, because Well, I know he goes. He has
Yeah.
as a Jew, he has to. Was it Passover?
Yeah.
He's not allowed on. For a certain amount of
Oh, what
time.
do we call it? Oh, what's it called? Yeah, I know what it's called. Yeah, Sabbath.
I know it,
Sabbath.
but I can't think of it. But he has to stay offline for 24 hours. Sabbath. That's it. Sabbath. He has
Yeah,
to go offline.
Friday to
So
Saturday.
he's used to
Friday
going
to
off the
Saturday.
grid.
Yeah.
To his credit. So he's
Yeah.
got Sabbath. So
I think Purim's coming up as
but
well,
I
so I'll be
think
busy for that.
if you yeah he's got BBC, so he won't have that. So he's got
Yeah.
because he'll have to do the same thing, won't he? Because he'll have to
Yeah.
if it's like midnight here and then 2 o'clock in the morning there in Israel,
Yeah.
then is he going to stay up that long? He's not going to stay up that long.
No,
He's
no,
cream
no.
he's cream cracker, as he would say it when he finishes the stream. That's a ridiculous time to stay up. So he'd probably watch it the next day if it's not Sabbath and he has to miss it for like another 2 days or something. So it's going to
Yeah.
impact him just as much as well. You've got another
Yeah.
one from
Don't
Matt
don't make
Milford.
me watch
It
it.
comes
I
on at
won't watch it
midnight.
for that.
It comes on at midnight the UK. The viewership will be natural low, and if the
Yeah.
show gets low ratings, the
Yeah.
producers can blame the time slot, not the quality. And again, I didn't even mention
What's
this,
the
but
positive
ratings.
about it?
I mean, what about I mean, we talk about EastEnders ratings being so low,
Yeah.
and I think part and parcel of that is because it is available on iPlayer. I watch it on iPlayer now. I don't watch it on normal
Yeah.
TV. Most people will watch that on iPlayer. Is this going to happen to Doctor as well? Because then
Probably.
that'll be
Yeah.
that'll be their excuse, won't it? That'll be their new excuse.
But you do know, though,
When
Cinnamon, though. You do know that they're trying to put everything online and get away from terrestrial broadcasting at the moment.
Because I just think that'll be their excuse, won't it? They'll say
Yeah.
that. They'll say, "Oh, you can't question the ratings anymore because
They
we've
were
really dug deep. We've
consolidated.
we've
Yeah.
knuckled down now. Yeah, they've put it on the streaming service, so then anytime you bring up the ratings, they'll just say, "Well, of course, the live rating's going to be low because everyone's watching it on the iPlayer now because that's the main focus, which it is
Yeah.
now.
That's what
They've
they're
said
trying
that
to do.
the streaming, whether it's Disney or BBC
Yeah.
iPlayer, the streaming services are going to be the focus, and then it's we'll stick it on the 7 p.m. TV because for the old dears or for the older ladies, the old granddads or the older people who were fond of the show, like my
Yeah.
nana was. She was always a fan of the show. I remember watching it with her a
Yeah.
few times. She wouldn't. I mean, she's dead now, but my granddad isn't
Yeah.
on Twitter. He's on Facebook, but I'm thinking about the average fan here as well because they're going to
Yeah.
be confused. The average like sort of casual viewer, people like my dad, who's not hardcore, but he's an avid viewer. He's going to get,
Yeah.
if you're watching it on, you're going to get 2 episodes dumped at once, and then it's one every week after that. Again, why is it
Yeah.
two? Again, why are we getting
Then
two
you've
at
probably
once?
got to wait 2
Like, what
weeks to
actually is
see
the
the next
explanation?
episode 3 as well. Yeah. It's a
Because
bit dumb,
that's
isn't
what I
it?
can't get my head around. Why is there 2 episodes at once? What is the
Yeah.
thing? I mean, again, isn't nice to
Ratings,
have,
I'd
I
say.
suppose.
I'd say ratings, but the timing is so terrible.
Possibly.
No one's going to watch it the second
And
it
I was
comes
on,
out.
and I was on another stream, and some guy said, I think, was it? Oh, what was it? What was that shit show that Marvel did?
Oh, one
Well,
Echo.
well, take your pick. I'll probably just mention about 5 of them there, or anything after
Yeah.
2019. God, One Division, the most boring thing ever.
Oh, One Division. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he said something like that. That launched in 2 episodes or something at once.
Yeah.
Was it?
I smell a Disney rat, don't you?
I think One Division launched 2 episodes at once. I say boring. It
Yeah.
was. I think I quite liked it at the time, but I mean, it's not my show. One Division.
It was interesting to start. It just went dull.
Yeah.
No, it's just.
Confusion will be another factor here. Capaldi not having a set time massively impacted his Doctor. Yeah. It was very sporadic, isn't it? When you've got them messing around with the time, it's too much change. It went from Saturdays to Sundays, and that. I mean, Sundays. Who wants to watch that Sunday?
Yeah.
They put all the dross on Sunday. And
the excuse for that was hilarious. So
I think
so the kids can talk about it next day at school. It's like, no, it's not. You just don't want it on Saturday.
Oh yeah, because one day will stop children from talking about it. I mean, God,
Yeah.
I'd watch it on a Saturday and I'd talk about it to my friends who were Doctor Who friends. There weren't many of them, but Well, that's just a pathetic excuse. What
Yeah.
nonsense.
Or Chibnall
I mean,
nonsense. Yeah.
well,
Yeah, I know. It's just terrible. It's just
it's
the shape of
well,
things, isn't it?
With Chibnall, it's like that story, isn't it, about the frog that lets the
Oh
scorpion ride its
god.
back as it crosses the river, and it's like, "You promise you
Yeah.
won't sting me," and then when it eventually does sting him, "Well, why did you do that?" "Well, it's in my nature. I'm Chris
Yeah.
Chibnall. I'm gonna start
Yeah.
nonsense."
Yeah.
Um, Goodness me.
But knowing Moffat was
I
the only
just think,
competent one in the whole bunch, it's like Jesus Christ, you know. You
well,
do think
it's
yourself.
I think, well, I would say that I would think that Russell was a better showrunner, but I suppose even that's being questioned now.
Was.
I
Yeah,
just think with
was.
Moffat is the most. I think Moffat is the safest pair of hands right now because
Yeah,
I think
that's it.
you know what to expect from him. You know, whereas Chibnall was Chibnall was boring. You know, it was
Oh, baffling.
too quiet. We never got anything up until the last second, and we're still getting that now. To be fair, Russell
Yeah.
used to be fantastic at promoting his era, and you know, there's been times where he has promoted it well. But again, you know, we've got what less is we're halfway through March now, and it's going to come
Yeah.
out on May the 11th, so it's early May, and we're at the end of March. So we've got nearly like not even a month, what, a month and not even half to go yet,
Yeah.
and they did it with Flux, didn't they? That was
Yeah.
not promoted until right at the last minute.
Yeah.
It just feels like they took a bit of a hit with that, and I just think, you know, you got Chibnall with his lack of promotion and his just
Yeah.
general boringness of being a showrunner. I mean, there's no life or energy into that at all. And then you go into Moffat, go into RTD,
Yeah.
who just, well, it's RTD being RTD,
Yeah. He's
virtuous, but
changed so much, yeah.
you know,
It's all about
it's,
changing for
you
the
know, I think,
worse though, you know.
but, well, yeah, I mean, you know, I just think, you know, out of the three, maybe Moffat coming back isn't a bad idea at all. I mean,
No.
they're doing new things, and there's nothing wrong with doing new
No.
things and
I'm
changing
no
it up. But if you're
experimenting.
going to
It's
change
just, you
it
know.
up, yeah, you can experiment. But you know, like again, like I said before, change for change's sake isn't, you know, a good
Yeah.
thing, especially if it doesn't
Not
work.
at all.
And again, with the Barry generation, look at like, come on, looking back at that, was that a good idea?
No, it's terrible.
Apart from the 5 minutes of shock value it gave, apart from the shock value for 5 minutes,
Yeah.
like, what
Didn't
was
he didn't
that?
even
Like,
explain it.
was
That was the problem. He didn't explain it. It's like, you know,
yeah,
he
and
turned around and
that
said, yeah,
leads me into
yeah,
my point. There was no explanation for it. I mean, the only
yeah,
explanation that I can think of, and the reason I had this explanation was because I came up with a headcanon for it, was the thing about
yeah,
the salt, because it was a myth.
yeah,
You know, the 15th Doctor says, "Oh, it's a legend. It's a myth." So obviously, I think with the salt, when he's pissing about with all
yeah,
the salt, that's then allowed. I think this pit is considered canon. That him doing all the
yeah,
salt and the mysteries and all that. That's what's allowed the toy maker to get through the barriers of the
yeah,
reality or whatever. So that's how the toy
yeah,
maker got through, or something like that. And then
yeah,
the salt is then allowed by regeneration nonsense to happen. But
yeah,
again, I would have liked that to be explained on the episode, not me having to
yeah,
come up with an idea
yeah. I
of
thought
that.
it
Like,
was because seriously, I thought
especially
it was,
something as
yeah,
big as that.
yeah. I mean, I thought it was because of it's something to do with a second set of regenerations. This happens once every second set or something. That was my kind of theory.
Yeah, I just think it didn't work. Like,
Yeah,
and it's like my point was, and I think I said this before. Well, I know I said it before, but it's if they had had a normal regeneration, if this was David regenerating into Shooty in the
yeah,
normal fashion, would it have changed the episode that much? I mean, I suppose
no,
it would change the whole Donna ending, and you know him. You know, he
yeah,
wouldn't be living with his Donna family. That wouldn't
yeah,
happen. But no, he could still defeat the Toy Maker. In fact, I
yeah,
think that would be far better actually if it was just him on his own, because it's not often when we see the Doctor regenerate. They're regenerating usually at the end of a story when everything's
yeah,
fine again.
yeah,
You know, until it all kicks off again in the next episode. But you know, but for the Doctor to regenerate and then still be in the conflict. Like he hasn't solved, he
Yeah.
hasn't saved the day yet. Like he's just regenerated, and he's still got to then defeat them, the toy maker. I
Yeah.
think that would have been a great idea, which they
Yeah.
did do. They did have that, but then they still had David in the background as well. I think that would have been
Yeah.
far better and a far.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a really good way of introducing Shooty by having
Yeah.
him appear and having him personally on his own defeat the toy maker, and like
Yeah.
I think that would have been quite a good, decent Doctor moment. To be
Yeah.
fair, not
And just
and I
promise
think
Donna to come back every once in a while to say hi. You know what I mean? That's all you do.
yeah, get make sure Donna gets that job with Unit, and
Yeah.
I think that would have been set. And
And
then
said before he goes,
you know
look,
you wouldn't have
you with
all
this.
the
Yeah.
nonsense about
Yeah.
having to
Yeah.
bang the hammer. You wouldn't have the
Yeah.
bullshit about smacking the hammer and spouting another one. You know,
Yeah.
out of the side of it. I personally think that would have been
Yeah.
more accepted
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
could. This is my point. You could have, apart from the whole Donna, living with Donna's family, you could have had the
Yeah.
same ending. Really, like
Yeah.
again, it doesn't change anything. The whole bioregeneration, it didn't change anything. It wasn't explained. And if it
Yeah.
had a normal regeneration, it would have still worked anyway. It
Yeah.
just meant the tenant wouldn't be around. And I think that would be better because what is the criticism that we're all saying? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that David's still in the background waiting. Like it feels like he's been
Yeah.
upstage shooting. He's not like he
Yeah.
can't breathe. I mean, I know the saying. I know the saying. Oh yeah, but I know they're quick to quash the rumors of tenant coming back. Say no, he's not coming back. But then, well, that's not good enough because he's still out there. Okay, he's still out there somewhere. I don't know. Uh,
Yeah. I know it's a bit disappointing, really. I mean, they could have done away with a whole lot of that stuff, and it would have just ended really well. I mean, come on, she's with
do you
Unit. She
think
doesn't
Moffat is
need a.
doing all the doctors? So, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, as I said, it's like she could have just John could have just gone off with Unit, and he should have been happy. And she could have said, "I'll pop him every once in a while, make sure you're all right." And it would have been fine. She's surrounded by
Yeah.
ex-companions.
Do you think Moffat is doing all the Doctor stories 11th or 12th for a spin-off in the expanded universe?
I could hope.
Okay.
Would be nice to
Wow.
see Matt, but Matt doesn't want to come back, nor does Peter. That's a problem. You only got David. And Chris won't come back.
Well, I think I didn't. Well, no, we'd have to. What was it he said? We'd have to sack
He'd have to
Russell T
suck
Davies,
himself.
sack
Yeah.
Julie Garner, sack
Drain
him,
Tranter
and for him for that to happen.
and Phil
And do just
Collinson.
be
Yeah.
facetious, but But what do you think Moffat is doing all the Doctor stories 11th or 12th? I don't know about that. I mean, well, I'm not sure Capaldi's going to come back,
No.
but I think Smith is a little bit more open to it. He did say, didn't he, in that interview, that kind of
Yeah.
landed him in a bit of hot water at the minute, that he said never say never. So
Yeah.
I don't think he's not rushing back. Obviously, he's not rushing back.
Yeah.
But never say never.
He did call the
But
show
I
crap
think
with Billy Piper.
I
Though.
would say I think if Moffat is writing for Doctor Who, well, yeah, no,
Yeah.
well, yeah, not having a Christmas special was always ridiculous. But I do think if Moffat is writing for Doctor Who again, it probably will be for Shooty, like Queen Charlotte has just said herself.
Yeah.
He's writing for Shooty. I mean, there's two ways about it. Russell sent him that audition tape. Was that just
Yeah.
as a friend? You're a showrunner. I'm the current showrunner again. You're a former showrunner. He's my new Doctor. Look at this. What do you think? As a friend, as
Yeah.
a consultant. What's your idea? What's your opinion? What do you think of him? Or he's sending it to him so he can get a basis of what this Doctor is, what this actor is. Sending it to
Yeah.
him because I want you to write for the show again. So he is
There might
your
be something in there
tape
actually.
to get familiar with him.
Yeah. Let's just
That's
hope that
what
Robert Fripp's
Charlotte
coming
said, and
back
it makes
permanently. Yeah.
perfect sense.
Because Russell said he wasn't coming back full
I
time.
just have a thing about whether.
Yeah. Russell originally said he wasn't going to do it for like 2 seasons. He was only going to come back for the specials, and I'm going to do a season at 2 seasons. I might have a feeling he might be stepping down in Christmas. I hope he is, personally, and Moffat's taking over again.
Yeah, well, it's always possible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just because they said no in the past doesn't mean they can't
Yeah.
change their mind. I mean, I know
This might be the
Russell did
rescue
that. He said,
mission.
"No,
Yeah.
yeah, this is it.
This is the rescue mission.
We're all hoodwinked.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but Russell said that, didn't he? I'm sure he said that. I'm not done now. I'm exhausted. He's not writing. He's not going to come back. But then he did. Who would have thought that he
Yeah.
actually would do that? And then he said he kind
Yeah.
of like retconned himself by saying, "Oh no, but
Yeah.
I'm always coming up with stories. Oh, the only
Yeah.
reason I didn't say that was because I didn't want to, be rude to the current showrunner."
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
whenever Moffat, Moffat is right. Doesn't matter what he says, it'll
Yeah.
get taken and extrapolated in different ways. Whether he says yes,
Yeah.
whether he says no. So the next time you see a showrunner or anyone say no, well, just wait until they've got the right figure sum for it, because I'm sure if it's not money, circumstances can change, can't they?
Yeah. Yeah. Could happen.
I think
Then
three
again,
series max with Russell. This hasn't been the major comeback he wanted, so he will run from this.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
become a
there is
creative
that, isn't there?
consultant. Yeah. I think he'll just become a creative consultant or something instead, and they'll just ignore everything he does. Says, oh, it's a shame, really. But
I just think it needs new blood, don't you? Like,
yeah,
I think we need to get away
I wanted Joe
from.
Straczynski really
Mm,
badly. He would have done a great job. It'd been so different. It
someone
would have
fresh. 'Cause
been core
we've had
sci-fi.
fans. We've had
Yeah,
fans involved in this. Well, we don't need fans. I know we've kind of got this
yeah,
kind of thing now where like the showrunner, is a fan. We've had
yeah,
Russell, we've had Moffat, we've had Chibnall,
yeah,
fan. Uh, and it's like you go back to people like Robert Holmes and
yeah,
Philip Hinchcliffe. Philip
yeah.
Hinchcliffe didn't
It was
grow up
amazing.
with the show really. Well, I suppose he was a young guy.
Yeah,
No, he wouldn't have done, because I think he was 30 at the time, and
yeah,
like he joined about season 13. So
yeah.
you probably no, he wouldn't have grew up with it. And
No,
he had no sci-fi experience. I think he was like, didn't he do a thing called Target or something like that? I don't know,
yeah, some of
or
that.
Dagger. Yeah, so and a lot of the writers or people who worked on the classic series, some of them
Yeah,
hadn't had sci-fi experience before. Um,
yeah,
which is, I suppose, I guess, kind of ties into my point before,
yeah,
where I said about but for the writers for series 11, how none of them had any experience writing sci-fi. Which again, it's true. If you're going to write for a sci-fi show, you should at least understand sort of general, and you should at least have a general understanding of the show
yeah.
that you're about to write for.
Exactly.
Not getting some sort of dramatic ITV writer. But I guess in the same breath, if you look at historically, a lot of people who worked on the classic show hadn't worked on sci-fi before. Before we got Robert Holmes, what was he writing? Before
Yeah,
kind of thing. So you know,
yeah,
it doesn't necessarily have. You don't necessarily have to be a sci-fi writer. Just a competent, you know, writer in itself. I think there's levels in it. You don't just stick. And it's not a dig
yeah,
on soap actors, but you don't just get some new soap actor
yeah.
who's been on
Did
EastEnders for
loads of
5 minutes and
stuff.
then stick him in the lead of a Marvel show or something like that.
Yeah.
There's degrees to it, isn't there?
Do you want to know what he did before Doctor Who? He did The Saint. He did an episode of The Saint.
Do we know what that is? Because I
Oh,
certainly
well,
don't.
you don't know what Roger Moore's show The Saint was about? Oh my God, la sacrilege! It was like a. He was like a. Kind of
When did it come out?
it came out in '68, mate. Even I know about The Saint.
When I was born in
Yeah,
2002. So
yeah,
I think I'm hard pressed
yeah.
to recognize
It's
anything
how he
from
got
that.
his job on 007 was from The Saint. It was
Oh,
a bit like
wow.
it was a bit like James Bond. That's how.
What was it, like some sort of like thriller? Was it?
I'll send you the thing in the private chat. It's fine. Yeah, it's like he did The Saint. He's writing for The Saint and all over ITV. He only wrote an
Yeah.
episode though. Done even more before
So
that.
yeah, I would say this. It's a bit of a double-edged sword. I think
Yeah,
having sci-fi experience helps
he wrote. He
being a
wrote a
fan
show.
of
He
the
wrote an
show.
episode of
But
Frontier called
I wouldn't say
Mutiny.
it's exclusive.
Yeah,
I think you can be have have a non sci-fi writing background and
yeah,
get away fine. So again, when we come to because I can't imagine will there come a point where the next showrunner isn't
yeah.
a fan. You know, again, this is the point.
Yeah,
What actually are we going to do post Russell? Like when? Because I'd imagine maybe he will. You know, I mean, would he leave properly, or will he leave like and sort of become like will he leave and have a reduced role? Like will he like have a protege? I know Moffat was supposed to
yeah,
be that. Will there be a point where Russell takes a step back from the complete control and he sort of like has a sort of like manager role and like lets someone
yeah,
else like you see like he's still involved, but he's not involved in this maybe in a show. But then again, would a showrunner want someone else above? Bit like a football manager.
yeah,
You got the manager in charge
yeah,
of the team, but then you've got the owner above him. So could they do that again? Since Russell's
yeah,
into a lot of changes at the minute, would that be one change that he wants to do? Would the
yeah.
BBC let him do that? I don't know. It's the question is, what's after Russell? You know, I think.
Hopefully Moffat again. I'm hoping Moffat. Then he finds a protege this time, like Russell was supposed to, and he messed it up. And Moffat tried to pin it on Steve. What's his name? What's his name? It's gone from my head. League of Gentlemen. Guy from League of Gentlemen. Oh, God, got a new theatre show out. Oh God, what's his name? Yeah, it's gone from my
Do you
head. It's
worry
gone
though
from
that
my
going back to if when Russell leaves and we go
Mark
back to
Gatiss.
Moffat
That's it.
again?
Gattis. Gattis. It was supposed to be Gattis,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I can.
but Gattis said no.
I
I'm
can
not. I'm
imagine
not
that.
touching that poison chalice. Yeah.
Well, in
Okay. What were you
fairness,
going to say? Sorry. Just had to come.
I was just going to say that. Do you think the fact that we've had Russell come back twice now, and
yeah.
if and when because well we know it will happen eventually when Russell
Yeah.
steps down in whatever role.
Yeah.
Would Moffat coming back? Would that be a progressive move? I mean, is that treading old water again?
Well, you
Will
know
we
what
be
Moffat feels
falling the
about
same mistake?
progressiveness.
Well, yeah, but I mean it more in
Yeah.
terms of is it a backward step, just going back to the past, going back to the old guy? Will there come
You
a
need
point where
someone
we will
who
have to
knows
sort
what
of
they're
do
doing
that?
to right the ship. Yeah. You need someone who knows what they're doing
Yeah,
to
will,
right the
will there come a
ship.
point where where the show on BBC or whoever makes the
But
controlling
Moffat needs to
decisions, which is
find a
it's still
successor.
BBC, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
BBC are still making the creative decisions in terms of who
That's
runs
the
it.
problem. Yeah.
So what would they do? Would they go for an outsider like that Straczynski you mentioned?
Probably not, because everyone's in house with the BBC. That's a problem. That's why they've got no creative no creative passion or creative bone in their body anymore. Is probably the best way of saying it. But yeah, they need to. This is their biggest problem. This is the biggest problem. Getting to the big issue. This is why terrestrial television in the UK is dying on its back, because they want to in-house. They won't
Yeah,
subcontract anymore. They won't train anyone. I mean, look at it. I mean, Dan Haddy was saying the other night, I think on Rabbi's stream, he says the problem with ITV is it's always Ryland Clark Neal or Amazon Hammond. Yeah, it's like
we've got a very
it's
interesting
always
question here from Mark
okay.
again. Our question was Millie Gibson fired because she was a white hetero female. Well, I'm not sure if that was why she was fired, but I do think she was definitely fired because if you listen
Yeah,
to Type 40, Dan has had his sources, multiple sources, and we know that Dan has had a good track record historically, and people like Noel have as well. I think we can safely say, from new information that's come to light, that she was probably indeed fired. There was a bit of a question there about whether
yeah,
she left, was she, was she written out, was she fired in the, were all the rumors about being a diva or etc. And it seems you know, it would appear now that those rumors were true, and that I think we were, yeah, all those things that we heard about. I think it would, yeah, it would seem that
yeah,
those are true now, and I think it come down to again just in general conduct. I think was what was
yeah.
said, was it? Again,
Unprofessional conduct.
listen
Yeah,
to Site 40. It was on the most recent stream. They discussed it there. But yeah, I think it would definitely seem that she was indeed fired. I guess that what actually was the crux reason behind that. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying that's absolutely. I'm not guaranteeing it. Obviously, it's nothing official, but it
yeah,
does seem very, very likely now. Apparently,
yeah,
we've got a comment here from poorly. Whilst fully sympathetic to those who wish the show to be uninterrupted, I've long felt that a good rest prior to an entirely fresh production team is essential. Well, they did that, didn't they?
Yep. Yeah.
Between Russell and Moffat, they had that 2009 off, didn't they? Where
Yeah.
we still had Doctor Who, but it was reduced, and to give time for the new production team. But then
Yeah.
I would say, did we have that already? Because we had to wait quite a long time, didn't we, between the Power of the Doctor and the 60th
Yeah.
anniversary? I mean, how many months
Yeah.
was that?
Paradox. Yeah, there was like a year. Kept doing 1 year hiatuses, didn't they?
Yeah, it
Chibnall.
was a year and 1 month, wasn't it? From October
Year on,
to
year off,
November.
year on, year off, year on. It was like
Yeah, I feel like we've had too many breaks, if anything. If we
yeah,
want to go there, I think we've
Vim.
had too
Yeah,
many rests. I think right now we need consistency because I don't think
yeah.
we've had that recently.
Not at all.
I think there's been a lack of consistency.
Yeah,
It was. I remember. It used to be that you get a season every year, or
yeah,
or even a half. Even if you want to go to the Moffat years, you'd get, was it series 12 only had half a season.
yeah,
There would be at least a couple of episodes of Doctor Who, not
yeah,
just the odd three specials here in a year, or the one special day.
yeah,
We had 2019. 2019 they had, oh well, I think, did they have Resolution? Yeah, they had Resolution. So that was one
yeah,
on the 1st of January. They had one episode for the entire year, and then we had to wait entire year for Spyfall, didn't we? That was exactly 365 days.
yeah,
So that was a
yeah,
whole year, and then we had, of course, and I suppose COVID didn't help, but there was a gap year in between that as well, although that was delayed. And of course, then we had, of course, the 60th delay. Well, not delay, but the time between Power and the 60th. We had
yeah,
to wait a while for that. So there's a lot
yeah,
of waiting. Considering was it 5 6 years of the Whittaker era, and there was only 3 seasons
yeah,
and reduced seasons at that.
yeah. Six
I think
parter,
now is
three
the time.
specials.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now is the time for us to start getting a bit of consistency back because
yeah,
we've not had much of it of late. Uh, Another one from Mark. I suspect Millie outperforms Shooty. They don't
yeah,
want Shooty to be a backseat player. Need Shooty to be
yeah.
the bestest ever. Well, yeah. I mean, they couldn't get
Can't
rid of
have
him, could
Shooty at
they?
the
I
back of
mean,
the bus,
imagine
can
that.
we?
There's no way they could. They can't get rid of him. He's the leading man. They can't
Yeah,
get rid of Russell because he's in charge. And I did say,
yeah,
I think I saw someone else say this once. I think I said it as well. You know, if this, if they've not received it as well, or you know, if Disney saw how well maybe it was received and it didn't quite think it was if Disney saw it and didn't think it went down as best as they hoped it did, and they think, well, who can we, someone's got to take the can for this. Who's
yeah,
the weakest link? Who's the easiest to replace? And I think,
yeah,
was she the scapegoat? Was she the one that was, okay, well, we'll change that then. We'll have an all, we'll have an all, black Tardis team. Not that I think
yeah,
that's particularly a problem, but well, clearly for some they love it. Because I see as soon as that announcement was made, clearly some people were more asked about the fact that it was a black Tardis team, not whether it was a good companion or whatever.
yeah,
People's priorities in the wrong place, for God's sake. But I'm replacing her again with an Andor
yeah,
actor, so that again, when we talk about Disney involvement, when we see an actor from who's in an Andor, a Disney
yeah,
show. And I think she did work with Russell as well. So there's probably a bit of a collaboration. But again, when we talk about Disney involvement, they put a scene in the episode, the Christmas special. They put an extra scene in
yeah,
that. Of Disney's recommendation. We're seeing, we're getting what we're seeing now about all the global, the announcement date and
yeah,
on streaming services, and now the Americans getting a very fortunate hand, whereas us Brits are getting the short straw.
yeah,
It's undeniable now that Disney have a decent size of input. You know,
yeah,
I will say that. When it comes to the scripts, I don't think they've got much of input. Maybe again, they'll have a say, but that's it.
yeah,
They'll definitely have. They've definitely got a say.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Certainly do. Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
It
I don't
all
know where this is
remains to
going.
be
It's
seen.
complex.
It
It
is,
does look
yeah.
like.
It is very
Yeah.
complex, and
Yeah.
a lot of people don't feel like they know where the show is heading because it's.
Yeah.
I guess the way I would describe it is it's living day to day, isn't it? It's all. I
Yeah.
can't. I'm like, as far as the actual I'm excited, like, for the actual episodes
Yeah,
themselves. You know, I really like Shooty. I thought he was fantastic in the episode, and I thought it was so good to actually have a Doctor with, I
yeah,
believed, a commanding presence. He felt like the Doctor to me. I thought Millie was just fine as a companion. Well, I didn't think it was the best of story. I thought it was fairly
yeah,
average. Um, but I thought, well, okay, the big books, as I think I said on the review of it, series one, where it really counts because this
yeah,
is where you've been promoting so much. Well, I say promote.
yeah,
You haven't been promoting it, but you've been bigging it up every time you
yeah,
talk about it. When you do, they've been saying it's so amazing. Oh, shoot, he's so electrifying. Oh, he's so
yeah.
fantastic.
Always so
And now is
something
the
and
time where
brave.
we see where they put the money where their mouth is. Yeah,
Yeah,
so stunning and brave. Oh, yeah, yeah, yes. Have you seen that scene that they're talking about in Doctor Who
yeah,
magazine? I don't know why I'm doing a northern accent because I'm northern anyway, but you know what I mean.
yeah,
There's a scene in the fourth episode of the upcoming season. Oh, there's a scene apparently where
yeah,
Shooty gives us where he's so fantastic in it, and everyone on the production team went, "Whoa, wow, wow!"
yeah,
It shocked everyone. Like, okay, now, and I imagine this is where the budget kicks in as well, isn't it? Didn't they say that this is
yeah,
where the money really kicks in for
yeah,
series one? Season one. I'm still calling it series 14. I'm not having that
yeah,
nonsense. Series
yeah,
14 will be a true showcase of whether Russell still has it. Well, that absolutely. I mean, some people think he's already lost it now, but I
yeah,
agree. Series one, that's first season will be
yeah,
where like I say, that'll be where it counts, I believe. Because if he can't deliver, because
yeah,
they'll have 8 episodes, two of them on one night. So well, that's a
yeah,
decent chunk of it.
yeah,
I said four, because considering it's an 8 episode season. After the first four, that'll be halfway through. That'll be a very good. I think
yeah,
that'll be a fair test of where the show's heading. I think we'll have a
yeah,
clear idea then, because I think I said this, and I think Charlotte said it herself. The 60th, that was a nostalgia thing. It's series four. It was a nostalgia trip. It wasn't a 60th anniversary. It was a series four
yeah,
anniversary. It was a celebration of Tennant and Catherine. Um, and of course, we've got the Christmas Day, but Christmas episodes are always a little bit
yeah,
light. You know,
yeah,
and it was again, the story wasn't particularly strong, but it was all about setting up the new Doctor, the new era, I suppose. But this is it now. This is the new series 14, the new
yeah,
Doctor, the new companion. We've waited a long time to see it. I mean, God knows. I mean, they announced Shooty as the next Doctor in what's it, May 2022. It's been a long
yeah,
time coming. Now this is it. This is now what a couple of months. What a couple of months? Well, less than what a month and a half. So we're literally right
yeah,
there now. And this is it. This is where they got to pull out the big guns, because this is it. If they don't do it, we've already heard from some people they're going to be out. They're out.
yeah,
If this doesn't do it for
yeah,
them, they're
yeah.
gone.
So that's it. It doesn't realise it's on his last. Russell's on his last legs because people will just walk. BBC will have to shut. There's no choice but to shut it down. It's what annoys me about this whole situation. Yeah, just it's just
And I mean, we're about when we talk about how much interest has the BBC still got in it.
yeah,
Well, clearly, they value it to a degree where they think, oh well, we'll get someone else off control, because it's not BBC Studios anymore. They don't want to make
yeah,
it. They're handing it off to whether whose decision that was. But I know they wanted Russell back on board because he asked him.
yeah,
Whether he said, okay, well, shall we use my company, or that Julie's whoever owns Bad Wolf. Um,
yeah. Judy and
I imagine
Jane.
that was
Yeah,
yeah. I imagine that was probably part of the deal. Okay, well, you want me to do it?
yeah,
Okay, well, I'll get my guys, and then we'll look
yeah.
after it.
Pretty much. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
I know.
I'm
I know.
exhausted. I'm exhausted with it. Sure. I'm exhausted with it. I just
Yeah,
needed to be good. I thought that
yeah. I know.
I enjoyed the Christmas episode, but this is where it is. This is like I said. I'm repeating myself now, but this is the
Yeah,
big books. This is where they've
yeah,
really got to pull it out. This is it,
yeah.
the final battle.
I know. Pretty
But yeah,
much.
I think I think we've covered everything. We've talked about the
pretty
bots
much.
briefly with Moffat coming back. It
Yeah,
would seem. We wait for that to be confirmed.
yeah,
But probably. I mean, well, I mean they were quick to wipe off any traces of it. And shut it down. So
yeah,
maybe that would
yeah,
indicate that it's true. Uh, yeah, and Disney have just well, I've ranted anyway
yeah,
about this decision to put it on at 12 o'clock. I mean, goodness me. I mean, I mean, the marketing as well. I mean, come on. I mean, would it be a good idea if I did the stream at 12 o'clock? Probably not, because everyone would be
no.
either in bed or probably couldn't be asked
Unless you
watching
do it
it.
for America. Unless you do it for America.
Everyone would be like, "What the hell are you doing, Cinnamon? It's 12 o'clock. Why are you streaming now? Do it at an appropriate time, like 7,
Yeah,
where people are coming home from work, chilling out. It's in the evening. People are relaxing at this point in time.
yeah,
People are more likely to watch it. That's why everyone streams like around. I know Rabbi streams at 5, or this is the prime spot.
yeah,
It's common sense. I just think that's my biggest issue with it. On my final thoughts here before we wrap up soon, I just
yeah,
think end of the day, this is the home of Doctor Who, and
yeah.
if you're not going to cater to your main audience,
That's the one.
then you're shooting yourself in the foot. There's no other way you can slice it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah, exactly.
Everything that Davis says and does takes him and Doctor Who farther and farther from the show that he brought back so lovingly and faithfully in 2005. And yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's like,
Yeah,
I don't doubt, like, again, I disagree with maybe some of the things that maybe Russell will say or do, but he's a fan. And I generally believe he's a fan, but I do worry. And I think a lot of us worry about
yeah,
when we see these changes being made, how they are made and how they are
yeah,
applied. Like, again, like it's too much fan fiction. I mean, I don't
yeah,
doubt. I mean, I act also. I'm being facetious when I say it, when I joke about Chib not being a fan. But like as a fan,
yeah,
how could you? Like I would never, even dare to even try and explain the origins of the Doctor, or try and change
yeah.
the
That's
show.
going way too far.
The if you because I feel like if you consider yourself a fan, and again we saw this on the members stream last night about this rumor. And no, I do think it's a little bit too far fetched. But then again, can we really truly say anything's far fetched these days? But
Yeah,
this rumor that apparently everything, because whatever Russell's big new tagline when Russell was promoting Series 14 last night or the day before,
yeah,
when he talked about there being a 60-year-old secret that spans decades or something, and the rumor was, you know, that everything after the Celestial Toymaker didn't happen. Again, I think it's a little bit far
yeah,
fetched, but could you even imagine them doing that, or doing
yeah,
some sort of new story that basically says, "Oh yeah, everything's been a lie." It's
yeah,
basically it's the biggest cliche of, "Oh, that was a dream. Oh, no, it didn't really happen." I mean,
yeah,
imagine if they did that. I mean, that'd be worse than the
yeah,
Timeless Child for me.
yeah.
If you to
You
then
know, dropping
say
another
everything,
nuke on it. Yeah,
yeah, and basically a retcon. Oh, this new thing happened, Doctor, that you didn't know about in your past. You know, the Toymaker and his legions are coming. They're coming to get you. I
yeah,
mean, they're talking up. I mean, we already know that apparently that this Jinx Monsoon character, according to Russell and the gang, is going to be is his deadliest enemy ever. His most powerful enemy, apparently. How
yeah,
powerful? Oh, I'm a bit scared about how powerful. Not powerful enough to remove condoms, it would seem. But
yeah.
enough of that, the better. Um, but yeah, we've been going on for about an hour, nearly 2 hours now.
Over an hour. Yeah, over.
I'm my throat, my voice is starting to hurt me now. I'm exhausted today. I don't know how about you, PD,
Yeah,
but
pretty
I'm
much.
exhausted, and I can't go on too much longer. Otherwise,
Yeah,
I'm going to collapse on the floor. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, this is great. I really enjoy doing these guys. I really appreciate it. And I've got Darren M. All these guys that are popping over from Rabbi's chat. I really appreciate it. I look up to people like Rabbi, and I think he's a great guy. Fantastic. Always good for a barrel
yeah,
of laughs, I say. And yeah, I'm thankful for everyone who's, all the panelists who've given me the time, everyone who comments here. I've got Mark Milford again, you know, if I
yeah,
can get it up. RTD is a woke ideologue, a true believer. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. You
yeah,
know, you can, as far as I'm concerned, you can believe whatever the hell he wants to believe. All I care about is getting good stories. I'm sure you
Yeah.
do too.
Yeah.
Uh, Great to stream, you too. Thank you, Charlotte. You're welcome on any time as well. Um, what's this one here? It's been wonderfully balanced, thought-provoking stream, guys. Many thanks. Yeah, and it's like, I don't claim, to be that I'm right. A lot of the time, I'm just trying to make sense of a lot of this, and a lot of it is just, I mean, it really is. It's wading through shit, isn't it? You
Yeah.
gotta battle so hard for this. You
Yeah.
put yourself through so much, and it's like I think sometimes we all have such a strong emotional attachment to the show, and so I think sometimes it's like I said, you got to take a little step back just for your
Yeah.
own sanity, and maybe concentrate on something else, that maybe can give you enjoyment. I know I keep saying
Yeah.
to one another, I'm gonna delve into Star Trek at some point, just for something new, just to explore a new universe, get something else. Um, I think we've lost PD there. But just explore something else. You know, because I've spoken about. I love the show. I rant, I rave, I moan, but and we all talk about it. We all criticize, but we all criticize because it comes from a place of love, doesn't it? We want the show to be the best it can be. We don't enjoy coming on here and moaning and ranting about it. Well, at least I certainly don't. I don't do it for the clicks. I've got about 55 subscribers, so I'm definitely not clickbaiting. This is genuinely me. A lot of the time I'll say the wrong thing, or I'm not reading off a script. I'm speaking from the heart here. And I'm sure you guys do too. Because we're all fans. We want the best for the show, and we just feel that it's not quite going in the direction that we not even necessarily the direction that we want it to go into, because it's not about I want Doctor B to the way that I want it to be. It's just I want Doctor Who to be the way best that I believe it can be, not just the way I want it to be, but the way for everyone. The way that they were doing it, the way that it was going fine up until it wasn't. Uh, thank you, Darren M. You're always a laugh as well. I appreciate it, everyone. And we've got fans need outlets like this. We do need outlets. We need just things we can vent. We need when I watched series 11, and I imagine like you guys, we watched it, and it wasn't for me. There was just something different about it. There was just something off about that season, and it was just something about it. We watched it, and it wasn't quite the same. It was just something different. I didn't quite enjoy it, and I thought, is this me? And I thought, am I just not enjoying Doctor Who the way I used to? And then you go on YouTube, and then you see all these other channels start to talk about it, and then you realize, oh, it's not just you. You're not just the odd one out. There are actually other people, and that's why you know I'm always thankful again for everyone coming on here, because I'm not just the only person that feels like this. you know, and it's not an echo chamber. It's not about that. People would come on here and say, "Oh, you're just an echo chamber." That there was, you say to everyone, say to Robert, say to no, you're just an echo chamber. Well, no, because we can have disagreements as well. We will have streams, we'll have panels where we don't agree. You know, we've had debates with Noel, and he thought some things. He didn't think too kindly of the Christmas special. I quite thought it was okay. We have different opinions, and and I'm always champion them.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and
Yeah. Sorry about
I know Make a Geek as well. No, that's okay. I was just saying that got Make a Geek as well. He's out as well. This isn't for him. He's seen enough, and that's absolutely his prerogative.
Yeah.
And again, well, he'll have disagreements with maybe Dan, and that's why I like watching Type 40 so much, because you'll have maybe Charlotte or Dan that maybe have this opinion, and then you'll have Ian that maybe has that opinion, and then you'll get, of course, Sarah will have her thoughts on it. It's nice, isn't it? And I know Brendan did his stream as well on the Sense Sphere. Uh, I've yet to watch it, but I've heard it's a fiery one, and and they covered
Yeah.
the Star Beast, and and apparently, according to them, that it got a little heated. But you want that, as long as everyone's still friends at the end of it. There's no slanging matches. You don't mind it being a bit heated because those are what you watch stream for. Really, you like a bit of you like a bit of the fire. Like at least I do. You like a varied, passionate debate. As long as everyone's friends at the end of it, that's what matters.
Yeah, certainly is.
On Type 40, we have a wide range of views. Yeah, you do, and that's why I like Type 40. It's not only is it professionally done stream, Dan's got a real tight drilled ship over there. It's a barrel of laughs. It's always fun.
Yeah.
And it's always got so many people from different ages as well, because you get the mix of older fans as well, as well as younger fans. But yeah, so again, my voice is starting to kill me now, so we're probably going to wrap it up now. But so again, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it here on this Saturday afternoon, where you could be doing anything else, but you've decided to come and watch me ramble on and talk nonsense. And thank you for PD as well for coming on and giving me a time. I know you always say anytime, anywhere, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
When I can.
Again, Quinn Charlotte, you're welcome on any time. I love having you on as well. So yeah, and I'll probably do it. I'm happy to do this again next time as well. I like doing the streams. They're a bit better. I prefer doing streams than doing videos. I think I do videos because I think it's better for the algorithm perhaps, and I think YouTube will probably be happy if you're actually a bit more consistent on the videos as well as the live streams. But the live streams are way better. Of course they are. You get to bring people on and talk about it in the chat. That's what we're here for, the discussion. So again, thank you for watching, everyone. Again, I appreciate it. God, I'm cream crackered as a good Jew would say. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna run off now. Thank you guys for watching. If you like the video, if you like the videos, if you like the stream, feel free to subscribe. If you like the video, feel free to like it. If you hate me and you hate the video and you hate the stream, feel free to dislike it. You can do that as well. I'm sure there's somebody out there gunning for me. I don't know about you, but yeah, thank you. Thank you for watching. God bless. I'm going to hit the button now and see how long it takes to end the stream. We shall do a countdown. We'll go 3, 2, 1.